everyone. Thank you for being here tonight with us. I'm Betty Martinez, and I'm the PR account executive for Miracles for Kids. And these are my teammates, Raquel, Kara, Stephanie, and Elizabeth. Being in this class, it's part of any PR student at Cal State Fullerton. In this class, we gain the necessary experience to go into the real life agency. When we found at the beginning of this semester that we have Miracles for Kids as one of the clients, my teammates and I jumped into the opportunity to serve this organization. So let me tell you a little bit about our client. And our clients, Miracles for Kids, it's a nonprofit organization who serves kids that are battling life-threatening disease. The majority of the clients are Hispanics. And our main point of contacts were Chelsea Cadigli, Director of Development and Operations, and Penny Scully, Operations Manager. Also, Adam R. Stryer, President and co-founder of Miracles for Kids, was the main decision maker, although we didn't meet her personally. When we put together our campaign, we wanted to put our project that reflects their values. That's why we chose the one we thought it reflects the entire campaign. And it reads that like this: we are committed to working hard to reach more children and their families in need in our communities and beyond. You will see that this is the center of the entire campaign, and it will pop out every time one of us speak. Our initial client meeting, we spoke about putting a campaign to reach the Hispanic community. And Miracles for Kids suggested that we do that at their LA office. However, we advised them that we should start in the Orange County office, since they are better well known in this Orange County area. After they agreed to this, they referred us to their PR agency, Kitchen Table Marketing. And they in turn asked us to do further research about what other nonprofits were doing to reach to the Hispanic community. And of course, we found several examples. 3 of them that we have here. Children's Miracle Network, for example, has a Facebook page in Spanish, and they use celebrities, Latino celebrities, to reach to this community. Make-A-Wish Foundation and Families Forward, they both have a tab in their website that allows people to translate to Spanish, and it's not just like Google Translator. It's a very well-spoken Spanish. We also provide them with a SWOT analysis, and we found that they are a very well-established nonprofit. They have good connections for donations, and therefore they can do several events throughout the year. But they do have weaknesses, and their weaknesses are that they don't have any Hispanic reach. So Latino population can feel excluded from the website. Their Facebook posts, they were also inconsistent. As opportunities goes, we found out that Hispanics are the fastest growing minority in the United States. Therefore, Miracles for Kids can tap into this community and go and get Latino college age students to gather some volunteers. Also, they can expand their social media, since already 73% of the Hispanic population are already in Facebook. And their threats. Other nonprofit organizations also compete for donations. Other nonprofits could be confused with Miracles for Kids. National nonprofits have wider reach, therefore they have the ability to get more funds. And next, I'm gonna pass it to Raquel, and she's gonna keep on explaining our research.
Thank you, Betty. So we started off this campaign with 3 different goals. The first was to reach out to the Hispanic media because currently Miracles for Kids doesn't reach out to this community at all for any media. The second was to create a social media new page on Facebook called Miracles for Kids Espanol. A lot of their clients are Hispanic, but there's no way to try to reach them through social media. And as Betty mentioned, 73% of Hispanics are active on social media, and it's their preferred platform. The third was to create an event that highlighted the Hispanic culture. They have other events that give or donate to their clients, which, as I mentioned, are primarily Hispanic. So there's nothing to bring together them as a community through their events. So the objectives for our goals, first for reaching out to the Hispanic media, we want to get at least 5 mentions between newspapers, blogs, or magazines. The second objective for our goals was to gain 200 plus likes on our new Facebook page. And then the third was to raise at least $1,000 while bringing together this community and having at least 75 attendees. Demographics. First, for the Hispanic community in general. In California currently there's 14.99 million, and it's continuing to grow. So even though that their population is increasing, their level of poverty is decreasing, which is good. In 2013, it increased by 3.5%, which means a higher disposable income. And then also, their median age is 29 years old, which is a lot younger than the Caucasian or African Americans, which ranges in the 40s. So this shows that this community is a lot younger than other demographics. 19% of all millennials are Hispanic, and then 38% of those are also bilingual. The demographics for the Miracles for Kids clients. On average, their income is between 35 to 45 annually. They're both single or married, and they're around 30 years of age or older. And then most of them have a high school diploma and some level of college education. But because they're so weighed down by these medical bills, their families and themselves are financially unstable. The psychographics for this community. Miracles for Kids said that 90% of their clients are Hispanic. So this demographic is very family-oriented, and many of the Hispanic millennials help out with their family finances, which means that they're entrepreneurial by nature. This also shows that they like helping, which means that they're more likely to volunteer. In general, Hispanics are brand loyal. Generation X is a lot more likely to prefer to be targeted in Spanish, while the millennials are more likely to want to be targeted in English. Millennials are early adopters, and then they also are influenced by brands that promoted through actors, artists, social media, and mobile marketing. When we first met with our client, they didn't really have any sort of idea of exactly what they wanted, but they did like that a lot of us had experience in Hispanic public relations. So with that being said, we wanted our messages to be centered around the Latino community, since they don't currently have any campaigns that are centered around this. And then we also wanted our messages to be centered around increasing awareness by telling who Miracles for Kids is and why they're such an important cause. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Kara.
Thank you, Raquel. So I'm just going to talk with you guys a little bit about the strategies, tactics, and tools we use to execute our campaign this semester. So when brainstorming the strategies that we were going to take throughout the semester, we wanted to focus on the Orange County community. Like Betty said, Miracles for Kids at first wanted us to expand into the Los Angeles community, but the Hispanic Orange County community has a lot of economic power, and it keeps growing every day. So we really kind of wanted to capitalize that and increase their visibility that way. So our first strategy was then to focus on that geographic area and to hopefully further expand later on. So our next strategy was to initially do a lot of research on Miracles for Kids, because the Hispanic community was not reached out to, and that was a population that was kind of ignored in all their efforts previously. So we did a lot of research on Miracles for Kids. We went through the SWOT analysis to see what we could improve on, so that became a strategy as well. The next strategic approach we took was to take a look at the Hispanic culture and to create culturally relevant and sensitive content in order to build upon that. So the Hispanic community didn't feel like they were ignored, and that they weren't just a translation on their page that they could have possibly implemented on their own. now on to the tactics that we use. In order to execute our strategies, we did use various tactics. So the client, like I said, originally requested research from other nonprofits who successfully implemented Hispanic efforts within the community. So our first tactic was to create that research document, and we then sent it over to them. Our next tactic was to create a Hispanic media list and research major influencers and bloggers who we could potentially reach out to and increase our presence that way to gain support from them in order to gain awareness for our cause. Our tactics then moved on to our social media plan, and that consisted of creating an editorial calendar for November and December of 2015. We wanted to specifically focus on November and December because of the holiday months, and they did have a lot of events coming up, or around November and December with the holiday months coming up. And so that seemed like a really good time for them to gain exposure. So our social media posts included feature stories, current events, thank yous to media, and also, like I said, the promotion of our events. Another tactic that we employed was also creating an original hashtag that was Creando Milagros, which translates to creating miracles. So we hoped that this hashtag would gain traction in order to increase followers and then eventually increase awareness. Lastly were our tactics for the Zubathon event that we originally designed. This would include creating a media press kit. So we all worked together to create an original press release, a media email pitch, a media advisory, a fact sheet, and a flyer that we presented to Miracles for Kids. So lastly are the tools that we used. We planned on using Hispanic media outlets as a major tool throughout this campaign. Unfortunately, because Miracles for Kids would not allow us to use their name in any media pitching, this was a major missed opportunity. Reaching out to Hispanic media could have increased media presence around their events and ultimately donors and sponsors, which is crucial for nonprofits. Our team also planned to create a new Facebook page, so social media was going to be used as a major tool throughout the campaign. It would have been a way for Miracles for Kids to interact with the community and interact with clients and supporters. Although the client did not allow us to use their name in media pitches, we did utilize Cision as a tool, and so we kind of took it upon ourselves to do our own research. So hypothetically, if they would have allowed us to use their name, these were the niche media reporters that we would have reached out to. Some other tools used to execute our strategies included census.gov in order to gain demographic statistics, like we have said. We also used the Miracles for Kid Dropbox, and that was primarily for photography and branding consistency to keep that consistent with the social media posts and the editorial calendar that you'll see later. Also, the Miracles for Kids website was a major tool that we used because we did extensive research on it in order to further execute our campaign. So now I will pass it over to Steph.
Thank you, Kara. I'm going to be going over a couple of our challenges and our editorial calendar, the event timeline, and our outcomes. So a couple of challenges that we faced, which pushed back a lot of our campaign ideas and everything that we implemented, were one, we had a challenge with communicating with Miracles for Kids and their PR agency, Kitchen Table PR. Unfortunately, every time we would email them, they wouldn't get back to us right away, which pushed back our campaigns. We would have to wait for their approval for almost everything that we did, which caused a lot of complications during this working with them. Another challenge that we had was not being able to use their brand and their logo on everything that we came up with. So we wanted to, in the beginning, contact media outlets to help us promote Miracles for Kids, but because we weren't allowed to use their brand and logo, we weren't able to go ahead and jumpstart on that. Despite all the challenges, we still went forward with our campaign. So first, I'm going to explain our calendars. We created an editorial calendar for their Spanish Facebook page, which we titled Milagros para los Niños, and that basically translates Miracles for Kids into Spanish. And we also created a Zumbathon event timeline. So as you can see here, I included the November editorial calendar for the Spanish post on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, basically every other day, so we wouldn't flood everybody else or our followers' posts or Facebook page. Whenever we saw that there was a holiday that related to either children or family, we also included that in there, such as Tuesday, November 10th, and Thursday, November 26th. Here are a couple of our examples for what we posted. You can see the translation in English and in Spanish. On November 4th, 2015, we agreed to post up something about their mission. And this is just a mission statement to let their followers know that what they do. And on December 28th, we posted up something about their partners. So they partnered up with Little Giraffe, and our little post that we wanted to update was just how proud they are to work with Little Giraffe, and every blanket that consumers purchase, a part of that fund would go to Miracles for Kids, and those funds will then be used to make cozies for Miracles for Kids clients. Next, we have the Zumbathon event timeline, and we decided to plan this 5 months ahead of the actual event date. So in this case, it would have already started this month in December. So in December, we want to focus on beginning. Sorry. So in December, we wanted to focus on planning and brainstorming for the event, and we also wanted to start on looking for sponsorships as well. In the second month of planning, which is in January, we wanted to lock in sponsors with contracts and negotiate the terms with them so they can help us promote the event and provide us with whatever they can, mainly funds. And also, this does not mean, once we lock them in, it doesn't mean that we end our relationship with them right then and there. We always have to build on top of that. In February, we will plan for the food and refreshments. We'll start seeking for Zumba instructors, a DJ. We're gonna have booths set up, so we need to seek vendors to fill that up as well. In March, we'll be locking in the Zumba instructors and DJs, and we also want to create an editorial calendar, and that one should also be implemented this month. In April, which is the month of the event, we want to focus on promoting the event since it's going to be held on April 30th. So, and our objective is also to have at least 75 attendees. So originally we planned it for the Zumbathon to occur in December, but because of all the setbacks, we had to push it back into April of next year. So before I talk about our outcomes, I'm going to go back to Raquel's slide, which she talked about our goals. As you can see here, we had 3 main goals: to reach out to the Hispanic community via the media, create a Spanish to media on Facebook, and create an event highlighting the Hispanic community. Unfortunately, we were only able to create two out of the 3, or accomplish 2 out of the 3. Therefore, here are our outcomes. We created an editorial calendar for the Spanish Facebook page, and that included content and pictures to go along with those posts. The second one, we were able to compile a press kit for the Zumbathon event. This included a press release, a fact sheet, flyer, email pitch, and almost everything that they need. So they have all the material that they need to jumpstart the event, so hopefully they see it through and implement our campaign in April. And now I'm going to hand it off to Liz, where she discusses our measurements and recommendations.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, so like she said, I'm going to go over the measurement and recommendations. So starting out, Miracles for Kids did not implement any part of our campaign that we proposed or worked on. So therefore, our measurements are going to be hypothetical. It is believed that if Miracles for Kids would have implemented our campaign, the measurements would have proved the campaign to be successful by reaching the goals that were set out at the beginning of the semester. So So going off of social media, our Miracles for Kids en Español Facebook page, we plan to measure the success of the Spanish Facebook by the number of likes the new page had in the first month after it was established. The page would have been promoted through the already established English Facebook page, which currently has about 2,800 likes. So by promoting on the English page, we'd have gained followers on our Spanish one. We also created hashtags like Stephanie went over in Spanish, which would have increased engagement and conversation with our post and followers as well. Going off of Spanish media, we plan to measure Spanish media exposure based on the number of mentions and impressions in the media. If we had reached out to the Spanish media, it is believed that 5 media mentions would have been reached. And going over the Zumbathon event, measuring the success of the event by potentially reaching a goal of fundraising $1,000, as well as reaching 75 attendees. When the event takes place, the amount of money and the attendees will indicate the measure of the success as well. Going into recommendations, we recommend that they incorporate the Hispanic community into their marketing and PR efforts in order to increase visibility and support. Also by starting Hispanic social media pages and a translation of their website in Spanish, engagement and awareness would also increase. And we also lastly recommend that if a student agency is used in the future, that the logo and brand usage is also allowed and media pitches are encouraged. This will ensure that every campaign that's implemented here in Orange County, if it's successful, will be able to be implemented in the LA market. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it over back to Betty, and she's gonna go ahead and conclude for today.
So overall, we had a wonderful experience. Our team were able to form a united front, and we had, like I said, great experience. Also, our project didn't just come out of a kitchen table. Our ideas were carefully planned and backed up with enough research to recommend Miracles for Kids to go ahead and implement this campaign. We are confident that they will be successful to reach to Latino communities in Orange County and beyond. Nevertheless, we wish them well, and we hope that they can implement this campaign sooner rather than later, or they might just fall in the wrong side of history. And before I end this presentation, I want to explain about this basket. This Miracles for Kids has a program that is called the Basket of Miracles. We wanted to deliver this basket to them because they have they send goodies to their people that they serve, and this will be a token of our appreciation, together with our presentation. However, we decided that we were living a miracle of life in our own team. And her name is Riley. She's been with us since the first day of the presentation, and we wanted to surprise Raquel, although I don't think she was surprised. But this is for Raquel. Thank you so much.
I don't think you would.